Hello, beautiful beings. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about multidimensional awareness through your voice. And why is that so important, especially right now in history? I'm going to talk about that. First of all, what does it mean to be multidimensionally aware? Well, you've probably been aware of it when you go to yoga class, or when you've been to a sound healing, or when you've done anything that just you felt like really ecstatic, maybe ecstatic dance. You've raised your vibration, right? So dimensional realities are basically just higher vibrations. So we have the capacity to live and experience a huge rainbow of vibration. And we have a lot of that rainbow of vibration within us all the time. But where are we putting our focus? And that's what I mean by multidimensional awareness. And that's why it's so important to start becoming aware of where you are living from. My name is Rebecca Abraxas. I'm so glad you joined me here today. We're all here just remembering our greatness together. And in doing that, we get to raise vibration, raise our own vibration, and be the lighthouse for others. So now you know a little bit of what multidimensional realities are. They're basically levels or layers of vibration. Now, the word frequency is rate of vibration. So when you talk vibration, it's either going fast or going slow. And when it goes slow, things become more dense. And that's when we're in this 3D reality and we have dense material objects, they are a lower frequency. So all good. And so as we raise our frequency, we are raising in dimensions. And so the frequency is faster. Dimensional realities, there's a lot of talk about living in 3D collective, right? And moving into 5D collective. I feel like there's an infinite amount of dimensions that we can go to. Dimensions, think of it this way. Dimensions are synonymous with frequencies. That's how I see it. So why do we want to be aware of this stuff? Well, there's several reasons. I wrote some of them down in case I forgot, but the basic reason is to build awareness, to expand your consciousness, to get very clear. And when we are clear of where we are coming from on a frequency level and dimensional level, we know how to guide ourselves. So think about this. Maybe you've heard of the law of attraction, right? And the idea of being a deliberate creator as opposed to being on default, right? Which do you want to be? Do you want to be on default mode, or do you want to be a deliberate creator? Well, to be a deliberate creator, you need to know, you need to be aware of where you are vibrationally. And so you need to know that you are a multi-dimensional being. And all that means is that you have a rainbow of frequency within you that you can assess at any moment in time. Pretty cool, right? And so you are source self. Your higher self has a very high frequency, and you have a spark of that in you. And the more you focus on that, the more that gets enlivened in you and in your cells, in your field, right? And so, and the more you focus in your emotional frequencies, the more that enlivens in you. The more you work on and focus on your physical body, the more those frequencies come alive. So where do you want to be focusing? Now, the way I see awakening and ascension is that awakening is that first thought of, oh, I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. Oh my gosh. And you start seeing some paradigms that don't work for you anymore. And I find ascension kind of the next level of when you really do make the connection between being a spiritual body, a spiritual being having a physical body, and then you start to know that everything's a vibration. Then you start your ascension journey and you start realizing that you have control over where you focus and what your vibration is. And if you do raise your vibration and you get a taste of your higher self, you get that permission slip, right? You get that little hint of like, hey, this is what's possible. And then you can choose, do I want to stay here? Do I want to sustain this? And we're in human bodies. We're living out some things here. So sustaining it all the time, probably not possible, but I think anything's possible. But sustaining a higher frequency is possible. Is the highest sustaining frequency possible? Probably not right now in history, but you can raise your frequency to a higher, say 5D reality, and start sustaining it more and more. And that's why discerning between multidimensional realities is so important. And I'm here to tell you that you can do it with your voice. Your voice is such a powerful tool to let you know where you are vibrationally and what dimension you are focused in. And so today in this video, I want to give you some ways that you can start using your own voice. Now, I can only do so much in this 15-20 minute video. So if you're interested in this work and you're really interested in taking your voice to be an ascension and awakening tool, I have a course, the descriptions in my descriptions, the links in my description. And you can see it. It's called Vocal Toning for Manifesting Inner Peace. So go to that. It's on Teachable. It's super affordable, but it's a super potent little course that you can do to help you find what I call the somatic vortex note. And I'm going to go over that in this video right now. The somatic vortex note is that higher dimensional frequency self, and it's a note that you're going to make to match that frequency. So when you start becoming aware of your higher frequencies and you mark it with a sound from your voice, you create this somatic moment that you can take with you throughout your day, throughout your week. And when you let out that tone with your voice, boom, you go back up in frequency. You go into a higher dimension. And why would you want to do that? Because you may notice that all of a sudden you're discerning that, I feel like my frequency just lowered. And your voice can tell you that too. So if we use the tone ah, just a simple ah, right? You can feel and sense and become aware of where you are vibrationally. So let out an ah right now. Ah. Ah. Then what you do is sit in the wake. Sit in the wake of that sound that you just made. And it's like this. Every sound wave kind of has these ripples out. I want you to feel those ripples. I want you to see where you are vibrationally and what dimension you feel like you're in. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever. Where are you? Are you focused in the emotional body? Are you focused in the spirit body? Are you focused in the mental body? Your voice will let you know. Now, it takes a little time, but if you start this practice every day, start listening, becoming a very discerning listener of the frequency in your voice, you can be able to tell where you are. Now, that's the first step. Where are you? You have to find where you are before you know where you're going, kind of thing. So if you know where you're going and you know where you are, then we have this gap that we get to close up, right? So another activity you can do is just do that ah to see where you are, right? You want to do something with the chakras, and this is all in my course too. Chakra balancing and clearing through sound. Now, we're just going to do it quickly, but I have a lot of free videos on my channel, or you can just do it through my course as well. So here's just an easy way to just balance and start clearing the chakras, which starts to practice that law of subtraction. If you haven't heard that yet, it's all about just taking denser frequencies and subtracting it out of the body. And this helps us raise our frequency. And when we start toning with the voice, we start discerning what's dense, what's light. And these are just multidimensional realities within our bodies and beings. So the first one is that first chakra, O, and you just tone O for a little while. O, O. You go to the second chakra just below the belly button. Ooh, ooh. Solar plexus. Ah, ah. Heart. A. And then throat. E. Mm, mm. All right, so it's O, U, A, A, E, and as in sing, NG. So when you just do that every day, you'll start to feel how your own sound is working on your frequency. And the faster your frequency, the higher the dimensional reality you'll be able to access. Now, when you start to be able to discern this through your voice and the sound, through these practices, then you'll start to be able to discern what's light and what's dense in reality too. And then you get to be the discerner of what you want to say yes and choose to. And you get to be the deliberate creator of your life. So if we're living on default mode, we're not aware of the frequencies. We're not aware of the dimensional realities of our being. And when that happens, we just like, oh, that was high and fun. Oh, wow, that sucked. Oh, wow. And we're not connecting the dots. If you want to be a deliberate creator, your voice helps you connect the dots and helps you create awareness of where you are. Awareness is just another word for discerning where you are dimensionally or frequency or as what frequency you're in. But so guys, let's do it right now. Let out an ah. Feel the ripples. What frequency are you in? Does it feel light? Does it feel dense? Does it feel like you're in the emotional body, the mental body, energy body, physical body? Where are you focused? Let me know in the comments. Just by letting out an ah, you start to have this awareness. Now, once this practice really kicks in and you are really used to creating this somatic vortex note, which means that once you clear the system and you feel really good and you feel like you're in a high state, you let out a note. Once you're good at creating all that, you get to be aware of if what you're living matches your highest vibration. So if you go, one, you can feel the contrast of what's not working with that, right? The other thing is that you can use entrainment. So if you do your somatic vortex note, then you can start to entrain the frequencies around you, whether it's people, places, or things. And life starts clearing itself out and you start making choices about matching your highest vibration and dimensional reality. Make sense? Let me know if this makes sense. Let me know in the comments. So this is a very quick class in developing multidimensional awareness through voice, through your voice. And the key is being willing to receive your own voice, which can be hard for people. It can be really hard to receive your own voice, receive the sound of your own voice. And now when you're building this awareness and discernment with your voice, we're not judging the voice. It has nothing to do with the actual sound of your voice, really. It's listening deeper. And the reason this works is because when you let out sound, you're taking a breath. And in breath is prana, is life force source energy. So when that goes past the vocal cords, you're also bringing that life force energy past vocal cords And in the vocal cords, it starts to vibrate, and it vibrates past the vagus nerve and past the certain neurons that go to the brain that have to do with your mental and emotional bodies. So your vocal instrument is set up for growing this awareness, the way everything lines up through this channel of the throat chakra. And you can even become aware of where you are blocked in the throat chakra. That's part of becoming dimensionally aware of yourself and of your reality. So this is why voice is such a powerful tool. So if you want to study this more, go to the link below my descriptions and click on vocal toning for manifesting. And this course will give you way more information and way more practices on how to use and develop this somatic vortex note.